You know, the Yehida is the Gematria 37. That's the fifth aspect of the soul, the highest aspect of the soul, and one of the surrounding lights, along with the Chaya, the other surrounding light. And that 37 is the same Gematria as Hevel, Abel, in the Garden of Eden. And that Hevel was slain, so to speak, by Cain. And the Ayil that was substituted for Yitzhak at the Akedah is the rectification of Hevel. So this Ayil and the source of the shofar is the actual rectification of Hevel from the Garden of Eden. And every time you blow the shofar, you're rectifying the soul of Hevel. Now, what relation does Cain have to Hevel? Cain is of the left and is of a higher source than Hevel. And so he comes from the sixth level of the soul, the Atzmutz level. And what is that? That's 160 is Cain. And that's the same gematria as Zelem. The Zelem is of the Atzmutz level. And actually leaves the Zelem, the real secret of the Zelem is before death. The Zelem leaves 30 days before the death of the individual. Because the Zelem, this essence, this secret, has come down in English to us as the word astral body. So in a certain sense, we are astral bodies that come down here into the flesh body. But our true atzmutz, our true essence, our sixth level of the soul, above that of the Yehida, the sixth level of the soul is the Zelem. And there's some wonderful gematria in the word Zelem. Number one, it's in itself the highest aspect. But if you do the full gematria of Zelem, it's Zadek, 204, Lamed, 74, it's 278, and Mem, 80, that's 358. And that's the same gematria as Mashiach and Nahash. And the Nahash, which comes from the Sitra Akra, is a parallel of the Mashiach that comes from the Ein Sof. And the whole level of darkness, you see, and the left-hand side. So basically, we are really astral bodies who have been put into flesh. But we don't feel our death because our astral body is actually left 30 days before. It leaves our body here to die, but the real sense of the self, the real self, the Atzmutz self, the essence self, left 30 days before. Now, in general, we know all this we start studying for a holiday 30 days before, stuff like that. And the Nazir takes a 30-day vow, which is Yud Hey, which is the highest name of Yud Hey Vav Hey. It's higher than Yud Hey Vav Hey because it's the Yud Hey that's up in heaven becomes the Yud Hey down on earth. And so this is the great secret, that we are actually astral bodies. Now, how does this account on Hanukkah? This 5-minute introduction, starting to get long-winded. Because Hanukkah comes from Hod and the left. Pure Hod. Not Hod, part of Zeir Anpin, but Hod, part of Hod. And it's the left, and it's the left foot, and that's why the Hanukkah menorah has to be put at the ground, near the ground. It's on the left foot. And the Hanukkah menorah is put on the left doorpost. As you come in, it would be the left doorpost, and the mezuzah is on the right. So what does this signify? And then one of the halakkas is that if there's no mezuzah on the door, then you put the Hanukkah light on the right side. Because in its ultimate sense, the Hanukkah light is a fulfillment and a complementary part and a completion of the mezuzah. And so the mezuzah and the Hanukkah light protect the doors. And if there's no mezuzah, you put the Hanukkah on the right. So there's a mystical aspect of the word Shaddai. And it just so happens that the word Shaddai can be shown here. Tick tock, tick tock. Oh, almost forgot. Because the word Kayin, as Kuf, Yud, final Nun, Kuf is 100, Yud is 10, final Nun 700, that's 810, plus 3 letters, plus 1 for the word, is 814, and that's Shaddai fully spelt out. And Shaddai is the name that's on the mezuzah. So Kayin is on the mezuzah. And that astral body is actually protecting you. And it's of the astral world. And that's why we even accept the Hanukkah light that comes from the left when there's no mezuzah there, because it protects it. Kayin, who is from the left, is always protecting it as the astral body. So this is a deep principle here. And especially on the whole concept of Hanukkah and Hanukkah lights. Because these lights enter into the dark, you see. They enter the night. Another thing that I feel is that there's only one holiday. There's only one day. That day is the day you're living right now. There's only one day. And then the different energies of the sun related to the moon and the different climates and the different seasons give you a different way to experience that day. So the harvest festival of Sukkot is different than the darkest days in Hanukkah and the darkest days which require light. But it's the same thing. It's the requirement of that day and of that season, and it's appropriate for that time. And it's because the planets reconnect a different way. And that circles every year and related to the sun. And it circles every year. And it's the same every year. And that's why we have the same circular pattern of individual day. So next year we'll have a Sukkot. And the year after that we're going to have Hanukkah. And in the spring season we have Pesach. It's all one day, experienced a different way, according to the universal forces, planets, things like that. And that's the experience of Judaism. It's one day, repeated in the seasonal year, and then repeated ad infinitum in the repetition compulsion until you get it. Looking back on my life, I'm one of the luckiest people that ever lived. And still it's hard for me. How could that be? I don't know. You know, most of the people who listen to these videos aren't even Jewish. Here I am giving some very deep Kabbalistic reasons for Jewish fulfillment. So, I must be doing it for another reason. And I seem to still keep doing my daily encounters with the Absolute. Remember that Adam had two sons, Cain and Hevel. Hevel was the breath, the Yehida. Cain was the Zelan. Within Adam was the blood, the Dam, which came as Eve, Hava. Or left with the Aleph. Of that entire family there, only Adam has the Aleph. The Aleph is a Yud on top, Vav in the middle, Yud on the bottom, which is a 26. Which is a Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey. Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey plus 4 equals 30. It's nice to go on to more things, isn't it? If you know this, you know more than everybody else. This thirst, this quenching, trying to quench your thirst of desire, of more, of the societal. I can't help you with that. But there's a person who's given up the desire for more, belong within the societal. It's not that I can't handle myself in the societal. I obviously can. As a tennis player, I was 105 in the world. I know how to compete in the group. Make my living off of winning and beating people. After someone has gone through that, they get to the next level. Sadly, the world's in the previous level. And quite frankly, this is no place for me.